Please remain seated at all times. Please keep everything inside the handrails. No leaning over the handrails. No tobacco products, including vape and e-cigarettes. They've been banned from the Riverwalk by city ordinance. But the rules are no tobacco products at river level, no alcohol at street level. Right in front of us here is the Robert Hugman Bridge, completed back in 1941. However, we like to call this our Selena Bridge. Back in 1997, they produced the Selena movie here. Jennifer Lopez was the star. This bridge and Jennifer were in the movie. When they completed the movie, the bridge stayed. Jennifer and her money left. Hey, if y'all would like one of the best pictures on the Riverwalk, you may turn around and you may take a picture of me and the Selena Bridge. Y'all can just call me Humble Dave. By the way, my name's David. We'll be together about 25-30 minutes, 2 miles. If you have any questions, keep it to yourself. Feel free to ask at any time. We do have enough life jackets on board for everybody should we need them. However, our record is shown we've never needed them. Please not talking on your cell phones during the tour today out of respect for their guests. Please no visiting, no extended conversations. Again, our respect for their guests, all that paid to hear the tour today. We have folks from around the world coming to hear our tours. No reaching up and touching low-lying bridges. If you're taking pictures, feel free to use your flash for pictures, but not your light for video. Back to the tour. Here on my left is the Omni La Mansión del Rio Hotel. Back in 1853, this was St. Mary's All Boys School. It evolved into St. Mary's School of Law. The Acu de campus moved to the west part of San Antonio. This opened as a hotel in 1968, and the foyer of this hotel is a part of the original 1853 structure. Yeah, they took the dean's office and the library, turned them into a bar. I guess you could say they're still studying nowadays, studying great authors such as Jack Daniel, Jim Mead, Seagram, and many others. Be ready immediately when we come up meet the bridge. You want to look straight up and to my left. Look high in the sky to my left. Kind of optical illusion. Straight up. That one appears to be a freestanding wall. This was the Nick's Hospital, opened in 1930 as San Antonio's very first full-service hospital. First hospital in the United States of America to have central air conditioning. If you recognize the names Carol Burnett, Oliver North, they were both born in the Nick's Hospital. Please do not use your light for video. No light for video. Thank you. Yes, you may use your flash for pictures. Directly in front of the boat here is the Hyatt Regency Hotel. It opened in 1981. However, before they could begin construction, they had to do shadow testing. They did not want to cast a shadow on the Alamo at sunset. So after the testing was done, they limited this hotel to 16 stories. So now the sun is shining. It sits daily on this sacred mountain. We got something to do. Going around the bend on my left here, above the glass doors of the Hyatt Regency Hotel, you're going to notice that it says the Shop de Paseo del Alamo, which means passageway to the Alamo. This is a beautiful atrium with
1
This
year,
part over
right?
here is called River Square, renovated in 1972. Here we have a variety of restaurants that offer inside and riverside dining. Please remain seated at all times. Please remain seated. This part over here is called River Square, renovated in 1972. Here we have a variety of restaurants that offer inside and riverside dining. All along the river here we have lots of ducks, lots and lots of ducks. They're here year-round and they eat lots and lots of food. But that's okay, folks. Everything they eat, we put it on their bill. My wife too is waiting for me to grow up, but if I do, I get them. Yeah. Here on the right side of the boat, circular balcony. As we go by the balcony, you see the name Robert Hackman. He was the architect of the Riverwalk, first one to have an office on my right side at the completion of the park in 1941. His plans for the Riverwalk were approved in 1929. However, that was the year the stock market crashed, so construction did not begin on the Riverwalk until 1939, completed in 1940. Here on my right side, the colorful, please remain seated. On my right side here with the colorful umbrellas is Casa Rios. Please remain seated. Please remain seated. Please remain seated. I need everybody to remain seated. Thank you. We call them the pioneers of river dining and boating. First restaurant on the river back in 1946. Back then they gave their customers boat rides. My wife and I have been eating at this restaurant for a little over 42 years. Yeah. My wife and I have been married for a little over 42 years. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I've lived in San Antonio little over 42 years. Yeah. And I'm just a little over 42. Geez, I love entertaining myself. So we just left the natural flow of San Antonio River, natural, not man-made. And the Riverwalk is built around the natural flow of the San Antonio River. This part over here, however, is man-made. Concrete bottom, concrete sides, laid back in the 1960s to accommodate the 1968 Hemisphere World's Fair. They actually used the extension here in 1968 to boat people back and forth between the Riverwalk and the fairgrounds, which today we call Hemisphere Park. Today we use the extension for our boat tours. In front of the boat here, high in the sky, red letters says Marriott. High in the sky up here on my left, red letters says Marriott. Back in 1985, before they could begin construction on this hotel, they had to move the hotel that sat there. The hotel that sat there was the Fairmont Hotel. It opened up in 1906, a historical designation. Therefore, they could not demolish the hotel and haul it off. They had to haul it off all in one piece. So they jacked up the Fairmont Hotel, three-story brick building, weighing approximately 3,200,000 pounds. Strapped this metal strap, put it on dollies and air-filled tires. Inching through the streets of San Antonio for 6 days between March the 30th and April the 4th, 1985. Back then, setting a Guinness Book of World Records, largest structure with the city streets on air-filled tires. Neighbors? Wow. 6 days, 6 blocks later, it now sits on the corners of South Alamo and Nueva Streets. 117 years old, fully functioning, fully operating Fairmont Hotel. Yeah, we're gonna stay there tonight. Directly in front of the boat here is a large statue called the Stargazer. It's of an indigenous woman. She's gazing at the stars. The indigenous people believe gazing at the stars brought hope, health, comfort, peace, prosperity. They did much stargazing. This beautiful statue here is made up of over 80 volcanic stones from Mexico. On my left, up here on the sidewalk, holding a baby, is another statue right up here on my left. Statue here is of San Antonio de Padua, donated to the city of San Antonio during the 1968 Hemisphere World's Fair. Donated by the country of Portugal because San Antonio de Padua was of Portuguese descent. Back in 1691, Spanish missionaries came through San Antonio. When they came through on the feast day of San Antonio. So they named the newly discovered river in honor of him, and our river's had its name for over 330 years. Prior to that, the name of this river was the Yanaguana River, which means spirit waters or peaceful waters, given that name by the fact their arms are outside the boat. Their arms are outside the boat. These have all arms inside the boat. Sir, their arms are outside the boat. Yeah, for safety purposes, arms inside the boat. Thank you. So prior to that, the name of this river was the Yanaguana River, which the Payaya Indians gave us the name. Means spirit waters or peaceful waters. And the historians believe that the Payaya Indians lived along the banks of this river for thousands of years. Back here at the shop, the River Center. This mall opened in 1988. It's the only mall in San Antonio built around a lagoon and a river. You love to shop, you'll love this mall. Over 1 million square feet. You're a shopper, you must remain in the boat. We have a beautiful lagoon area back here. Lots of folks love to come back here and visit with friends and family. Lots of food and drink. Inside the wall here is a food court.
Pokemania.
Restaurants on both sides of the river. It's a great place to hang out, relax, visit with friends and family, have some food and drink.
It's like a coaster or something up there. Yeah, I think so. There's something up there.
Inside the mall here is the IMAX Theater. They have daily showings of movies, The Alamo, Price of Freedom. Very good movie, very informative, 48 minutes long. If you have an opportunity to see The Alamo, Price of Freedom, highly recommend it. Very, very good. Very good. By the way, our river walk is actually 15 miles long.
Wow.
Begins 3 miles north of here at the Breckenridge City Park and Zoo. Extends to the last mission, the Espada. Along the 15 miles, you'll find 2,200 acres of parkland, which makes our park larger than New York City. Yeah. And on our boat and on our tour this evening, you'll have seen about 2 miles of the 15-mile park. By the way, our park is also larger than San Francisco Golden Gate Park in Northern California. In front of us here is a small bridge. When we come out from this bridge, find to my left with the radio tower and white lights on top. You'll see the Tower of Americas. Matter of fact, you see the Tower of Americas high to my left, just before we go to the bridge here.
There.
High to my left.
See it?
Got the white lights on top.
That's where we're eating dinner.
The tower was built specifically for the 1968 Hemisphere World's Fair.
Yeah, tonight.
750 feet tall. Second tallest tower in the U.S. At the top is a restaurant and an observation deck. Restaurant revolves at the rate of 1 revolution per hour. Observation deck does not revolve, but you can walk all the way around it. And you get up the tower by one of the 3 exterior glass elevators. There's also a stairwell of 952 steps. However, it's closed to the public. Those stairs were climbed back in 1981 in 5 minutes and 18 seconds. Hey, you want to challenge the record? No sweat. You'll get to do that this January. They have the competition to climb those stairs every January. Yeah, if I started up those stairs today, come back for me next August. High and to my right is the trees up here, beautiful church steeple up here, high and to my right. St. Joseph's Church. They laid the cornerstone of this church back in 1868. Inside the church, you'll find some stained glass windows imported from Munich, Germany. No longer available. Glass manufacturer was destroyed during World War II. Also in the church are some beautiful paintings by the third pastor of the church, Father Henry Peppercorn. And the church was actually built by early German immigrants. Just before we go underneath the bridge here, high to my right at street level, you'll see a reddish white sculpture up here, high to my right. There it is, called the Torch of Friendship. There's a stone bridge. When we come out from underneath this bridge, we'll have left the man-made extension, and we will have re-entered the natural flow of the San Antonio River. I saw some of you taking pictures of the Torch of Friendship. A better picture above my head. Really, really nice picture. Too many obstacles on the other side. That's a really nice picture of the Torch of Friendship. Hi, the sky on my left up here says Hilton Palacio del Rio. Back in 1968, this hotel set a Guinness Book of World Records for being the fastest built modular building of its time. They built this 485-room hotel in 202 working days. While they were constructing the bottom 4 floors and elevator shafts here on site, they were constructing all 485 rooms on site at the exact construction site 8 miles south of San Antonio. Not only did they construct the rooms here off-site, they also completely furnished the rooms. Beds, bedding, dresser, mirror, refrigerator. Everything those rooms needed was in them except for one item, TVs. Then they put the rooms on semi-flatbed trailers, brought them to the site, put them in place with cranes, all 70,000 pounds, stacked them just like we would Legos, one at a time. Once the rooms were installed, they installed the TVs back in 1968. I have heard a rumor recently though, they upgraded the TVs, yep. Got them little push button thingies now. I think they call them a remote. In front of the boat ahead of us, going around the bend on my left here, says La Villita, little village. Originally housing for Spanish soldiers in 1718. The 2 restaurants on my left here, the Little Rhine Haas, Smoked Barbecue. Both of these were homes of early German settlers in the 1850s.
Very nice.
Today, La Villita, right up behind these 2 restaurants. Little village of arts and craft shops, artisan shops open to the public. About 30 of them. Nice, quiet, quaint little village.
Very nice.
In front of us here is the Arneson River Theater. Seating for 800 on my left. The stage on my right here was in the movie Miss Congeniality, starring Sandra Bullock. And above the stage on my right here were 5 very important bronze bells. These 5 bronze bells are for the 5 missions on our missions trail. We have a beautiful missions trail in San Antonio, 10 to 12 miles long. You can literally hike it, bicycle it, drive it, see all 5 missions, or them still have mass on a regular basis. No. Remain seated. You must remain seated. Coming up on the right of the boat here is some Texas Longhorn cattle. They sent from the Briscoe Western Art Museum. Originally San Antonio City Public Library from 1930 to 1968. Inside the Western Museum here, you'll find paintings, sculptures, saddles, spurs, Santana sword, Pancho Villa's last known saddle. Yeehaw! In front of us us here is a very, very low-lying bridge. Again, please remain seated. You stand them up, you get them big head. No reaching up and touching low-lying bridges. Coming out from underneath the bridge here, we will be surrounded by beautiful cypress trees. They're all along the river walk here, many of which are well over 200, perhaps even 300 years old. Coming up on the right side of the boat here is a small island with a black metal sculpture on it. This island here is made up of the roots of this beautiful cypress tree. The black metal sculpture here is called Father Vacationeers' table. On the island in 1991, in remembrance of the mass Father Vacationeers did on the river in 1691. We call this Marriage Island. About 360 weddings a year take place on the island.
Wow.
Right above us here is the Nevada Street Bridge. Goes right over the Old Mill Crossing. In the 1800s, we did not have grocery stores. So if you had grain that needed to be ground into flour, you bring it here to the Annapolis Mill, and they would do that for you. Straight down the river here, no, it's not a church steeple. It's actually the Bexar County Courthouse. It opened in 1896, oldest continuously operating courthouse in Texas. Hey, high to my left here with the flag beautifully above it is the Tower Light Building. Opened in 1929. 30 stories, 404 feet high. It's the only octagon or eight-sided high-rise in the United States of America. At the top, sticking out from the roof, are what we call gargoyles. Gargoyles are either the humans or the animals that are part of the roof drainage system. Water runs off the roof, out the mouths of the gargoyles, falls into a water filtration system.
That's awesome.
Below the windows here, you'll see some faces. You might say they look gross. It's because they're called grotesque, and the window trim is done in the neo-Gothic architectural.
You see the faces?
Hey, do y'all remember the Ghostbusters movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not the building. It's in New York City, baby. Yeah! Cha-ching! One for the boat driver. Coming up from the bridge here on my right side is the International Commerce Building on my right. From 1968 to 1998, this was San Antonio's City Public Library. It now houses offices for the governments of the United States, Canada, and Mexico. The archway in front of us here is floodgate number 4, which is below the water here. As we go through the archway, you see the marking of the floodgate on my right and on my left. San Antonio River naturally flows through this floodgate to my left, all the way to the Gulf of Mexico. And our beautiful San Antonio River is actually 240 miles long. For safety purposes now, I'll be honking my horn. Toot, toot. Coming out beneath the bridge, down the river to my left is floodgate number 5. It's closed, maintains the level of the water in our park. We can't really see back there, it's getting dark. You might be able to see back there, I'm not sure, but at floodgate number 5, where the red and green light are at, 15 to 20 foot drop off. Where me and my boat are going this way. Right above us here is a bridge. On the bridge, a chain link fence. On the chain link fence, you can see a bunch of locks. The wedding chapel up here. People go to the chapel, have their ceremony, say their vows, come out, put a lock on the fence, drop the key in the river. Yeah, a couple of weeks ago, some guy was out here looking for his key. Yeehaw! So we just came out of what is called the River Bend area. In 1921, they had a very serious flood in the River Bend area. They dug out this man-made portion of the river called the flood bypass control channel. It's only deep by the river, 15 to 20 feet deep, and they put in floodgates 3, 4, and 5. That's the potential flood. We can actually close floodgates 3 and 4 to the river bend area. Open floodgate 5 behind us. The water comes rushing through here, sparing the river bend area. In front of the boat, about 4 miles north of here, is the Incarnate Word University campus. On the campus is a spring from which the San Antonio River originates. That spring is fed by the Edwards Underground Aquifer, which is an underground limestone lake, 180 miles long, 5 to 30 miles wide. Some parts of the aquifer, they've never found the bottom, it's that deep, and the aquifer supplies the San Antonio metropolitan area with its water. Directly in front of us here is a huge cypress tree, about 9 stories tall, estimated to be between 300 and 400 years old. However, as the story goes, back in 1835, Spanish soldier sniper climbed this tree, shot a Texan soldier named Ben Milam, been called the Ben Milam tree ever since. Right above us here is floodgate number 3. It's a pocket door style gate, weighs 3 tons, 6,000 pounds. 15 minutes to lower, 15 minutes to raise. So we're leaving the man-made flood bypass control channel, 15 to 20 feet deep. We re-entered the river bend area. We're now back at the natural flow of the San Antonio River, where for most parts of the river, it's just 3 to 5 feet deep. On the right side of the boat here with the 2 lights up on the 2nd floor and the Christmas lights up here on the 2nd floor, this is the Esquire Tavern. This is the oldest tavern on the Riverwalk. Opened up back in 1933, the very day, the very minute that they lifted Prohibition. 10 minutes earlier, they'd all gone to jail. 10 minutes earlier, it's a barber shop. Yeah. Rumor has it they sold their last illegal drink at 59 p.m. Sold their first legal drink at 12:01 a.m. December the 5th, 1933. Folks, I hope you enjoyed the tour today. Hopefully it's fun, relaxing, and informative. Please remain. Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Please remain seated while I dock and tie down the boat. Now's a good time to look around, gather all your things. If you do happen to leave something on the boat, yeah, it's really not a problem. Feel free to look for it on eBay and again, folks, my name's David. Please remain seated. Please remain seated. Please remain seated. Again, my name's David. For a job well done, our drivers, we really appreciate your tips. Thank you so much. Please remain seated while I dock and tie down the boat.